Ramji. So asana practice is not exercise. Asana practice is one of the angas of yoga, as many people know theoretically. It's one of the angas. It belongs to Bahiranga sadhana, external part of the practice. Okay? And there's very important internal practice inside the asana practice. But it's very much disappearing, that understanding, because it takes 10-15 years studying proper tradition under the proper teacher before that internal practice can be started to put in like a very proper way. Okay? Which means that in that 10-15 years one have to fine-tune the instrument, the body. So it's not exercise. Asana practice is not exercise. It's fine-tuning the body as an instrument so that it's suitable for yoga. And one dimension of this is the stabilizing the stira vayus, these linear air elements in the body. Okay? And that's why in the traditional yoga the sequence is supporting that. People understand how the sequence is built. You cannot understand that if you never studied properly yoga in the disciplic succession. Because when these stira vayus are dominating, then the sansana mental awareness start to move inwards. And then with the upavayus and anuvayus, the vayus are these bodily air element that is moving giving the body functioning and also moving the mental awareness in or out. And then if there's instability with these air elements, these anuvayus, these third level air elements becomes dominant. Consciousness is moving outside. And we can see that this is very much happening. People build their own yoga practices, speculating and combining different practices, and they don't never reach the talabdha bhumikatva, which means that the stability of these airs of the body, these stira vayus, which support the moving the mental awareness inwards. And women, it's one indication is that these like anuvayus, chakra and spanda anuvayu becomes more dominant, which means that they start to move after a couple of years. They start to move on this kind of fluctuating and circular movement in the asana practices, start to look like a dance. And because of that, consciousness moving towards the causal vritti, which means that the asana practice becomes a tool of self-expression. It's not anymore a tool for the self-realization, it's a tool for the self-expression. And men that lead to the avardita anuvayu becomes prominent, which means that this kind of repetitive, they start to move back towards the gym and this kind of repetitive strength practices. It starts to move towards the swavritti because of that, which means that it becomes tool for the self-development. These are all these, there's these pseudo-yogis promoting this kind of dance-like movement, a fluctuating movement and then encouraging others to go to gym and that support, so that supports the asana practice. This is all just outcome that these air elements, they mess their own air elements on the body. It doesn't anymore support the asana practice because there was no proper guidance, and that's how they end up on that situation. And now they are misleading others also on that. Instead of that, this could have all been avoided if people would have been stick to this practice culture, or find the proper practice culture, and basically stick to their whole life in that practice and moving forward on that. But because it didn't happen, then that's why we have these anuvayus, these third level vayus are dominating and consciousness is moving outside. Asana practice is more like some dance, or it's combined with some gym training with some weights, or you just do the gym training with the asana practice, and that's all. This is all just result of that alabdha bhumikatva, that inability to maintain the foundation for the practice from the perspective of these stira vayus, these linear air elements in the body. And this is not something you can just learn by hearing some lectures and stuff like this and learning from the books. You have to find the teacher from the proper tradition, disciplic succession, and study it. Ramji.